Morning, guys. Welcome to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade right here at the Sugar Factory. Yes, Jade, I didn't say your full name this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Of course, everybody knows Jade going to edit the CPL Matter Store. Think it's Beyonce Johnson, but I mean.
See why you don't trust, man?
Somehow I don't believe that I am the cause of your mistrust.
No, you're not.
Of the male gender.
However, you're adding to it currently.
Oh man, Jade, you know you could trust me. I'm a trustworthy guy. Yeah? Okay. Well, guys, it's amazing to be back here for another week. Fresh Monday morning after what should be, for most people, a pleasant weekend. At least I'm hoping that for you guys. But
I hope so as well.
yeah, well, how your weekend went?
Very quiet. I just spent it with my son. Went to football and all these things. Well, we only went football. Not all these things. But yeah. We just chilled, you know.
So this is a new endeavor for
Jaden? Yes, it is.
Okay. This was his first week?
First day.
How that was for him?
He had fun. He complained that the kids were bullying him twice. So I had to tell him, bully them back.
Yeah, of course. Builds resilience.
Yeah, just bully them back. But he did have fun. And he will be back weekly. We're going to turn him into a little footballer.
Okay.
But out some that energy he have.
Yeah. I mean, I have always been a big, supporter of like those types of activities for kids. Of course, I might be a little partial to football, but of course, there's tennis that's happening for a lot of young people now. There's I think there's a lot of volleyball stuff happening now too, which we're supposed to start somebody from volleyball.
Yes, we have been saying this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna reach out to him and figure out a day. But yeah, that's real cool. And that was Saturday, of course.
And then Sunday, we just spent it at home. I cooked, we chilled.
What was on the menu?
I made couscous with some stuffed peppers, some sweet and sour pork, and some corn.
Okay, one thing in there kind of lost me, but
everything else was good.
Everything else I could jump behind.
Yeah, I had to put a little corruption in there.
A little corruption.
Good for the soul, man.
Well, for those of you who are here on Friday, we actually interviewed some lovely women from Nevis who were talking to us about an event that happened on Saturday. I promised that I would be at the event, and
you went.
I did keep my promise.
Okay, how was that?
It was very interesting. It was a lot of fun. I would have liked to see more people supporting the event. I think turnout was a bit lower than we would have liked, but those who did come out had a lot of fun, and so I don't even want to. It was a collaboration between, I don't want to say the wrong thing, Women of Eden. Also, look. We have a sipper, right? We have a sipper that looks at the show. And she can mash me up if I don't get it right. So she can send me this. She can send it to me.
Okay. See, there we go.
Yeah, they had a collaboration between themselves, the church women's group, and the Nevis Department of Gender Affairs. And what was very interesting was, of course, the highlight was the Plum Her competition. And yeah, that was real good. We had 3 ladies competing in the plumbing competition, and that was quite exciting. They installed faucets, I think, from scratch.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't do that?
I could try it. I could probably do that. Listen, I feel like I could do anything,
One night you just open your eye.
And I floated.
Yeah, that happened to me.
What?
If you think this is a joke. There was this one time. I was staying by a friend. This is in New York, New Jersey. Wake up in the like just random hours. Just wake up. step down.
You're in a pool.
But water up to my ankle, Jade. Water. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, there was something else. There was something else.
That was that when something happened to you when you just wake up, you know. Like when you didn't even get to fully realize what's happening.
And let me tell you, the thing that made it even crazier was it was the hot water the bus.
Oh.
It was the hot water the bus, Jade. So yeah, in the room and so it wasn't so bad because by the time the water full up in there, it was warm. But then when I had to go try lock off the water in the bathroom.
Yikes.
Yeah, but then they build a house in the States and so this is like in a nice. It was actually in a nice affluent apartment complex. The people downstairs had to move out. Like they had to move out. They had to put them into a new apartment and so.
The floors and the walls made out of paper. So
them
everything was swept you.
Downstairs was just thing. I went downstairs and checked what was going on, and they were like, "We didn't know what was happening.
Why is it raining inside?
Yeah, so that was it. So we don't want that happening to you, Jay.
No. Something similar happened to me, but it wasn't fully flooded. But one time I flooded up my father room and he didn't know. So I hope you're watching.
What do you mean he didn't know?
He know.
How you could flood out a room and people not know?
Cause he home. He wasn't home. I just
cleaned it up. He didn't come home for like a week?
No, I cleaned it up enough for him not to know. He just come home thinking he won't get up. Think I was just being nice and clean the rooms.
But no, here is the thing that makes this very interesting, right?
What?
Generally speaking, I don't know of the construction and the layout of your pop's house. But generally speaking, the bedroom don't have pipes.
By the house and a slide. That's how I find out here. That's how I find out that the house like that. Can't you like? Oh, the water went from the all the way up there to the house slanted. But I had to, I had to fix that quick.
So how you gonna work? You left on the water?
But what happened, boy? But I mean, to tell you the truth, I wasn't even sure what happened, you know. I know I was doing something and then I get up, I went in my father's room, because that was like my favorite place. And I was like, yikes, I gotta fix this before Winston come home.
Wow.
And luckily he didn't come home in time. Yeah. So I just map out the room, map up the whole house. The whole house was clean.
I mean, that's awesome. I think that's part of like...
Wait, that's awesome?
Yeah, that's awesome that you were able to get it done because I would want to see the... Yeah.
I just figured like that's a hard one to explain.
Yeah.
So, you know what?
Fix it.
Yeah.
Just fix it.
Just let the Lord be with me. Let me get this fixed before he reach home.
I think that's part of growing up and thing. Like the pipe got to bust at some point. Once the pipe busts and it ain't busting the wall, like good. Like when you realize, because the first thing is you just realize your water bill like it's $300, and then it's like how?
Just how?
And then you have to but if a pipe busts, that's part of growing up. I remember sometime we come home from like church or something and the whole upstairs flood out, right? Whole upstairs flood out.
A Sunday morning blessing.
I used to be like in a week, bye. So you know what I mean? Just grab the dustbin them and thing and just start to
shovel. Yeah, just start to shovel.
Right. You're gone. You're out of the house for maybe 3 hours. 3-4 hours. So yeah.
Then you got to pour everything outside. You have to dry your shoes, the carpet, sometimes your bed.
I think that's one of the reasons why we used to have carpet in there like when we were younger. I think all that there is why the carpet ended up.
Yeah man, mom's work out. Bye. Listen, man, I'm doing this.
The carpet could never come back, eh? The carpet could never come back.
Your house can smell like a wet dog.
Yep. So that's what it is.
Yeah. But speaking of house.
What happened?
Friend, I have a situation to ask you about. I have a scenario to give you.
Okay.
Have you ever been...
Nope.
Where's the scenario? Where's the scenario, Azem?
I know, but you're too happy. So I don't know, is that no? You're too happy, so I know, is that no?
So we're supposed to be happy?
Yes. So, but too happy is a different thing.
I don't feel like I'm too happy. Like I think I just, it's Monday. The weekend was Sunday night was exciting. Huh?
But this is SK, so we
Why?
can't get you a weekend without some kind of excitement.
And we were going with it. We was this close
To make it to the weekend. But
without our shenanigans.
No.
Impossible. I had to buy.
Okay, so tell me about this.
Let me ask you a question. Like, have you ever been in a situation where you've had two girlfriends or two women that you're going around, as the young people like to say, and one of them decided, just out of like pettiness, to record your room and send it out like as a message to show the next one, like, yeah, I in here. You could lie,
This seems so incriminating that I'm just gonna say no comment.
You're pretty fifth.
This seems so incriminating. Like this could go down a very dark path.
Well, I've never had that experience and I've never done it. Praise the Lord, because I don't think my level of insanity.
You've never done it? It being recorded. Jade, okay.
I've never been in any of those situations
Okay,
where I've been the
go ahead,
recordee or the recorder.
Look, okay. Go ahead because I got something to say. Go ahead. Tell the people what happened, Jade.
So last night, I there in my bathroom planning the show. Don't ask why. I was comfortable. And so I plan, and I see some messages coming to one of our nice little chat stems. I hopped off Facebook. I went in the chat to see what was happening because it came like with 4 attachments. So I thought, something bad happened.
Oh boy.
So open up the video now. Is this lady strolling through her house, recording, saying how karma works and,
Oh, she's giving God thanks for the blessings upon your home?
No, friend. She's literally talking about how she's in somebody else's house.
Okay. Don't go wrong.
And apparently she is maybe the other partner to the person's boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
And so she's taping in the girl's house and talking about how terrible the house is and all of these things.
Okay.
But then she proceeds to lay down in the bed. She nice hot lingerie too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pink. It was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stylish.
It's very, very. And proceeds to just talk about...
How she laying down in the girl bed?
Listen.
Start to abuse the girl house and so?
Let me tell you something, right?
Kind of that got to happen.
No, all of that was in there, man.
Let me hear what you're going to say now, because...
Some of y'all is a different level of unhinged. Like, there's levels to pettiness and craziness. But some of y'all, we down here, and all the way up there. Like, y'all levels of unhingedness knows no bounds. Because, first of all, you can't be somebody's house cussing how terrible the house be and then laying in the bed without protection. Like, you're just in lingerie.
The bed clean. Or maybe if it's dirty, she was the one that dirtied it.
I'm pretty sure she was one of them that dirtied it. But why, even if you do that, right? Why we have to know? Like, why do we, the general public, have to know?
So I have a question, Jade.
Sure.
How did the general public even find out about this?
Well, who else gonna put out the video unless the person, besides the person recording? There's a couple of scenarios here. One, the person taping sent it to their friend. Their friend said, nah, they will have to see this. Two, the person recording sent it to the other woman. The other woman said, I'm gonna just bite the bullet. 2 hours gonna be embarrassed. 3.
Okay.
Well, may think 3 is the likely scenario. The other woman sent it to the man, and the man sent it to whoever. But my top 2 picks them, I feel like.
The first 2?
Yeah, I feel like it's the first 2.
Let me tell you something, Jade. For me, the main thing was that the video was recorded. No, I don't even think this has crossed your mind as yet.
What?
Do you remember that I spoke about this exact scenario just maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago? When I came in here and I said, some of y'all like to videotape ourselves in the man house. I said in the man house. Up this morning, the Kingsters remind me. Bailey, you warned them about this literally 2 weeks ago. Yeah?
You did?
Yes, right here on SipNchat. I tried to help the situation, Jade.
And guess what? Because they don't listen.
Some of the sippers gonna remember. I talked about this exact same thing. I talked about it right here on the show. I said, y'all just go, well, I didn't say they're busy. I did say y'all are going in the man house. I want me taking all kind of pictures. Remember we had the discussion about taking the pictures in man house and posting them?
Yes, you did. This wasn't about. This wasn't
No,
that.
they were down. This is way past what I was thinking at the time.
Yeah.
But y'all gotta stop it. Y'all have to stop it now.
Do y'all have a humiliation kink or something that I don't know about? Is that a thing now? Like most, is this what's happening in the? Because why else would you do this?
Jade, let me explain something to you. I'm not gonna put this into I'm not gonna make this a gender thing, but I think generally people know it might lean towards one gender and the next. There are some people that in an effort to hurt you have no qualms about hurting themselves in the process, you know.
You know, I saw that recently. I was listening to a clip from a podcast and they said, especially when it comes to women.
Okay, I wasn't gonna say.
When it comes to women, boy, we would shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yep.
To catch everybody else around us.
Let me tell you something, Jade. I have seen it multiple times.
Y'all would.
I have seen videos of women hitting themselves to then call the police on the man who in his bed sleeping here. The man just wake up to police coming in the house and seeing a woman with a black eye. Only because the video in the elevator see when she was in there banging shade against the where the man in jail today.
As I tell you, a lot of us.
I have seen women lie. I was living in the US, right? One time I'm coming home from class and there is this huge commotion. We had some people that live across the road, like they're always fighting.
You know them neighbors.
You know them neighbors there. So come home, here's the commotion. I was chilling with the other neighbor who...
Because you use the neighbor them that looking news now.
Yeah, we use the neighbor them that looking news because we just trying to figure out what's going on. So I say, hey, I say, Craig, what's going on over there? The man say, yo, man, usual BS, man, usual BS. I said, what happening now? She say, oh, she's accusing him of hitting her, whatever, right? So I said, well, you were hearing any fighting and so? The man said, nope. So I said, so what do you think happened? He said, oh, she just want to embarrass him, whatever. I don't know, man. I'm not there. I don't live in there. I don't know what's happening. So they're watching it. Eventually, police gone with partner. When the police gone with the fellow now, who they are balling? The same woman there. She just wanted them to scare him a little bit. She just wanted them to rough him up a little bit.
Ma'am.
But here the joke now, no? He's the only one in the house that working and I got 3 children. There was a story that happened in Florida a few years ago. Same thing. Woman called police and whoever. The man decided what the police them coming by his house for. Boom, boom, boom. Say 1, say 2. Shoot the man. Luckily he didn't die. But now he's paralyzed. And of course now is when the woman gonna say she lied. When he done paralyzed.
I don't gotta shoot her back. I feel like that's a fair exchange.
So now they got 2 children and the main breadwinner in a wheelchair and disability and she's struggling now.
Yeah, he should have got let me shoot her back for you. I feel like that's a fair exchange right there. Like I get shoot because you lie, I just gotta shoot you back. You ain't gonna die, eh? Just how men die, you ain't gonna die. But you gonna got to feel how I feel, man, because I feel like why y'all like embarrass us so much? Like what why? We having a rough year as women, you know? Like our points very low, ain't gonna lie. And the sports they call life. We points very. We behind by a lot.
Jade.
A lot. Stop recording all yourself doing these things.
Stop doing them full stop.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
No.
That ain't gonna happen, Azem.
Yeah, but just
So let's be a little more
yeah,
realistic.
but just the idea of
Like sis literally flip the camera on herself in the people bed.
yeah.
Do a whole house tour.
No, that's real messy. It's real messy.
Ma'am.
It's real messy. Real
You
messy.
could have just do the house tour and then show us your face. We just got a guess. But you show us how ridiculous you be and how unhinged of a person you are.
Let me ask you a question. At what point did this become the actions of an unhinged person? Reason being. No, I probably shouldn't say that.
No, say it, friend.
No, just asking at what point. Let's say, right? Let's say she recorded herself in the lady's house and sent it to the lady, right? Would that be unhinged? To me, it's only unhinged because we find out about it, yeah.
The mere fact that she records herself in the lady bed is unhinged as him. The mere fact that you're fully well, even if you went in the woman's house, cause the man bring you in there. It's like the man went down to work out by bread and now.
Pan actually has some good music playing in the background there.
But yeah, the man is chilling. The man is saying, you know what? Shape make me other woman probably here. Let me just sneak a piece.
I'm gonna be totally honest, Jade. I was quite afraid that when she was making her way back to the bedroom, that Pan would have been in there fast asleep with the tongue out. Like,
but that would have just made the video better.
I was so scared, Jade. I was so happy when she got...
That would have just been the cherry on top, by.
Because she was talking real soft, eh? As a matter of fact, if you're listening to the voice, I was thinking, oh, she has a cute voice. But I can tell you something, Jade, and I said this to you last night.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. No.
And that's even the first part?
Which part? Afraid. Guy.
Let me put it this way, Jade. What I will say is that there's some women I've been seeing a trend. There's some women who have been giving women with thigh tattoos a bad name. You're starting to make men want to stay away from women with thigh tattoos.
That's true. Man like crazy woman.
Jade.
Okay.
Jade. Yes. I got it.
Yes, many watching you because no, you can tell me as a men like crazy women. Okay?
I think what it is that I think men go through that phase. I think as you get older and you've had your fair share of crazy women and having to deal with the fallout, after a while you walk up and you ain't want it back.
Bye.
You ain't want it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just not. So
the man happy who mash up here?
Happy who mash up what?
But yeah, they mash up.
Mash up what? I ain't got nothing to do now.
All the other woman got to do is one up the girl. Out crazy, huh? When we go to hell, what I say? Why they tell her when they go low, I go to hell, go hell. I don't have a thigh tattoo, you don't have to worry about it.
I think that's easy over here.
Show them how crazy you are.
Jade, please stop giving the people bad advice.
That's not bad advice.
Look, stop recording yourself in other people's house.
Firstly.
That's the first thing. Secondly, if you do manage to do that, which you really shouldn't in the first place, which would avoid all of these confusions, don't send it to nobody.
So what you got it for?
Jade, I'm tired of asking this question of women all the time. Yeah? Why you record that for? I'm tired of asking, and nobody till now.
The reason that we record it is to share it. Or they wouldn't have record it.
Okay, but your problem is when you tell them that, they tell you no.
What you need to record it for?
That's the Jade. Are you me and you on the same page?
Because you don't need to. Well, you want to rewatch it?
Where to call a picture there for? Nothing. I can understand the picture them. Okay, then
No,
cool. But then they flood in your timeline. They flood in your WhatsApp.
That's different.
No. I know what I got from in here.
Where
you got the show by yourself. This is what I can't understand. Why you record it? The same thing you say. Why you record it for? To share it? Okay. So we take all the picture there for? To share it? No. Okay, so but you're sharing them? No.
Listen, okay? Don't do that.
Don't. Also, no, is that no different now?
You don't do that.
Oh boy. Yeah, see what? Yeah,
No,
so
I record them. Because the more I record, the more content I have. So y'all doing the Lord's work.
Oh boy.
Record it and send it to our friends. Don't even send it to our friends. Put it out to yourself. Just create a broadcast list. Hit send.
You know what this is, Jade? You know what I'm starting to realize?
But the man probably got some immaculate peeing by.
No, but it ain't got nothing to do with
I've
that.
never in my life thought about doing
It ain't got
them
nothing
things.
to do with that.
You don't think so?
It has nothing to do with the guy. It has nothing to do with the guy. It has nothing to do with the guy, Jade.
So what you got to do it?
There's this competition that exists. There's this competition that exists between people, and by people, yeah.
Just a woman.
There's a competition that exists, and I really believe that that is a big issue in female circles. That is, as a matter of fact, I believe that is one of the reasons why a lot of young women suffer in the ways that they suffer, because they don't get the mentorship from older women who still see them as competition.
Yeah, because I was an older woman, and the competition was was not.
The competition was, but she, based on the picture, she look a little younger than her.
She is.
So that's what I'm saying. There's this competition that exists. Because I think men value youth, men value beauty, right? Sometimes those things go hand in hand, right? And so sometimes I think older women see younger women as competition, and I think that's unfortunate.
It is.
Because then you have a lot of older women who aren't willing to teach younger women, they don't really be fully transparent about their experiences. And so you have younger women who fall into the same, like, what's the women version of OG? You know how we want to see OGs like in men's circles, auntie, right? The problem is the auntie generally is maybe your actual physical auntie, like your blood auntie.
Oh no, I have a lot of aunties that aren't.
Okay.
I am blessed to have women in my life that know better.
And how much of them are transparent about their present shortcomings in their romantic lives, that don't circle or that highlight their mistakes and not necessarily the shortcomings of the men.
We haven't spoken about those, but I'm gonna ask them.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of times, from my experience or my observation, there isn't a lot of that happens. So we are the women that are 55 that may now be looking back and seeing the mistakes they would have made in their like romantic lives, that are sharing those missteps with younger women so they don't make those missteps. For instance, you'd have men who, like, I've had older men who talk very clearly, 55, 60, right? Who talk very clearly about the mistakes they would have made in their romantic lives, that they would have made in their social lives, that they would have made in their careers, in an effort, like, and the reason they do it is an effort to teach, right? There's an effort to teach. No, that don't mean that young men ain't gonna go and make similar missteps.
Yeah.
But what happens is, if you have that teaching, you might avoid some of the pitfalls, but also if you make the pitfalls, sometimes you're in a better position to deal with it. Because you have a frame of reference, like, I knew better, I knew better because, like,
he tell me about
talk to me about this, the same thing Pops used to talk to me about, the OG and the Black used to talk about, like them social circles that men have when they sit around and they just talk nonsense. Like, it's very important to, like, young men's development, Like, it might look like just a bunch of nonsense going on and young men talking a lot of stupidness. But it's very important to, like, development. I think it's different from, like, the brunches that the women have now where they discuss business and professionalism and professional careers.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm asking, because, of course, I'm not a woman, but...
You're not?
No.
No.
The Kingstons are disappointed. But
Usual.
But not to prove.
Say sometimes.
But what I'm saying is that we like does that really exist? Does that really exist? Because a lot of times the conversations that I see and I'm privy to, they don't generally seem to be honest conversations around the dynamic that exists between men and women. There are a lot of women who 45, 50, single, 2 children, unhappy, they don't really say it. Men will tell you straight up, like, I screwed my life.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that I have women in my life that would. I just don't think we've had those conversations. Like, I definitely could name women that I know that would gladly sit down and talk to me later because of the way I speak to them.
And tell you about their shortcomings. I think that's necessary.
I think it's necessary too.
I think it's
I
necessary.
mean, I do it within my circle, but I don't think I've done it.
I think all the women see younger women as competition, and they don't enlighten them the way that they should.
Well, we're gonna have to fix that.
I could be wrong. Somebody could totally enlighten me on that, but
We're gonna have to fix that.
From what I see, and I don't hear those conversations a lot. I don't hear those conversations about. Yeah, perhaps I shouldn't have been like running around. Like, even older men would tell you, yeah, bro, like, find a woman and settle down, bro. Like, it didn't make sense. All these women, like, all they're doing is stealing your time and you're so. I've had these conversations. All these women you're running around with, and so, yeah, what you're getting out of it? Like, trust me, you're gonna look back and you start to figure out all the time they stole from you, all the resources they stole from you, all the energy they stole from you, all the motivation they stole from you. Like, these are actual conversations. I don't know if I hear. I think I hear the opposite now a lot of times. No, girl, you're young and you're free, girl, live your life, boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Older men will tell you straight up, stop the shipping still. No, we don't listen.
No, I don't listen.
But what happens is, because we have that conversation, at some point it clicks. At some point, men go, like, this ain't making no sense. And generally, like, that's why people will be like, he get married, he.
Aye. Have the men done who out and tour out himself? Oh yes, I done who out and tour out, and now I want to come talk about I want to settle down. Talk about men.
Yes, Jade. Because unfortunately, for you all, well, not really unfortunately, trying to phrase it in a way that works. Our proficiency in romantic settings, right, and intimate settings plays as a plus for women.
Well,
so that's unfortunately what it is. So yeah, what happens is you want him to be experienced and proficient, but then when he comes to you, to stop to anything else, all exploration, just me, nobody else. That's generally what it is.
I am gonna be single for a while. That's what happened. My soulmate probably out here whoring and touring, you know.
Yeah, but you don't mind, that's the thing.
No, like everything.
Yeah, you don't mind. It's just that when he gets to you, your soulmate gets to you, then that's it. But by this time, his value is probably even higher.
Do you think, babes?
Yeah,
waiting on you.
Because by the time he gets to you, you'd want him to have probably a career, to have exercised his ambition and turn that into some resources. You know, perhaps have a car, like, perhaps his own place. You ain't want nobody going home to him and so, like. But then...
Unless you cook.
Yeah, but then you have to understand all those things that you want in him, other women want too. Yeah. But then he's supposed to ignore them.
Why not? Not wrong with that.
Okay.
Well, time for some articles. Oh, by the way, the moral of the story is, I stop here by yourself doing nonsense.
Yes.
Please.
Please.
Sorry, ask of y'all.
Please. Please.
But we were talking about consumer stuff last week.
Yeah.
How we can't afford grapes no more and all these nice things. Yeah.
I down to 3 grapes a day.
I got home. You want 3 more?
Oh, whew. Jade.
You will get up to 6. You wanna?
You know that? Yes. Thank you.
I know.
Just the idea of having a fistful of grapes again is. I'm a bit emotional, Jade.
As you should. Well, CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill to significantly enhance local protection, sorry. Why you always troops in? Why are you channeling your inner Kevin always?
What are we going on with CARICOM? Anyway, can we read the article?
Yes, so St. Kitts and Nevis efforts to reintroduce and eventually pass the CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill will significantly enhance the landscape for all buyers of goods and services who stand to benefit from increased protection measures in the Twin Island Federation and participating member states. The bill had its first reading in the St. Kitts and Nevis Parliament in August 2021, but there were no subsequent readings. The dissolution of Parliament on May 10, 2022 meant that the bill would have to be reintroduced and debated in a new session of Parliament. Minister of Consumer Affairs, the Right Honourable Dr. Denzel Douglas, said that the government intends to do so and pass the bill in 2023. On Wednesday's edition of the radio and television program In Focus, Paul Quealy, Director of the Department of Consumer Affairs, said that the passage of the bill will strengthen consumer protection. With this new legislation, it will be a big step from the one that we are using right now, he said, noting that it will likely allow for citations to be issued by consumer affairs officials. If you go into the supermarket and you don't have your prices displayed, fines. If you have expired goods on your shelves, we can fine you. If it is a situation where you are totally in breach of the Consumer Affairs Act and you don't want to refund a customer their money for an item they purchased, we can fine you for that right there. The CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill will also aid in the growing trend of online shopping. The protection rules will extend to goods and services within CARICOM where the harmonized legislation is enacted. For instance, Mr. Quealy said that if someone from St. Kitts and Nevis purchases windows from another member state and it is discovered that the product is faulty when it arrives, there will be an avenue for redress. Since we are functioning under the same legislation, we would be able to contact the consumer agency overseas, wherever they purchase the window, and they can investigate the case on that end for us and bring a resolution to the situation, stated Director Quealy. The passage of the CARICOM Consumer Protection Bill will help the Federation to transition into the modern era of consumer protection.
You have thoughts?
I was waiting for them to talk about regulating the actual price of goods.
Oh boy, look at that.
Maybe that wasn't important.
Look at that. No, look, okay. Let me not pretend like as if like this is like a waste of time or a bad thing.
I'm big
up Director Quealy one time.
Man,
you know what I mean? Like I understand why this is important. And I believe it can serve to address some issues that some consumers might have. That being said, like I said, this has been very legislative, and so now it is that we're trying to become compliant and to merge and merge with what's happening regionally. So I understand the need for the bill to be passed and all of that. And so I hope the bill does get passed and is enacted, and of course is actually Like we actually follow and there's some teeth to it, right? However, whenever we start talking about the plight of consumers, there are constant complaints that we see arising, right? If the price of a good isn't displayed, people will ask what the price be.
Yes.
Right? The idea of a retailer or whatever being in breach, meaning, hey, I bought something from you, it's defective, I have some redress, that's a great thing. Right? But people are constantly concerned with the seemingly overnight increase in prices.
As if I can't afford to buy it, there will be no returns because I don't have it in the first place. I can't have something faulty if I can't afford it in the first place. So there will be no me bringing it back. No, you going, well, this person is in breach because, it's faulty and whatever. I can't buy it.
This is the issue I have, right? For some goods and services, there's an obvious collusion. There's an obvious collusion between the governments and the retailers, right? Where things are put in place like duties, etc., to encourage local buyers to buy from local suppliers, right? Even though they're importing the things just like us, even down to the warehousing, the ability for them to sell and then on the back end give the VAT to the thing. All those things make it a little bit easier for the local retailers, which I'm all for. However, if that is the way we're going to operate, then you have to put things in place to ensure that the suppliers do not take advantage or become predatory in their actions.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way. I told y'all already, just last week when we spoke about this, I went to the local person. I said, look, y'all say I need this part from a vehicle. How much it is? The man tell me $2,800. I said the same thing that online for $156. I mean, all them people in the office get a number there. I mean, even know how the man got there.
I cut it out, eh? Cut it out. Y'all robbing people blindly and then you want people to support local. How are we going to do that if we can't afford the local prices?
So this is what is going to happen. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you. People are going to find ways around the system.
Yeah, that's all.
Smuggling will increase. Right? Black market type activities will increase.
Import.
People will literally recognize that as ridiculous as the ticket fares are, it's cheaper for them to go somewhere, get whatever it is they want to get, and come back.
Not only that.
And not declare it when they come back.
Not only that, good people be at the Photoshop right now. I could literally order something and change my receipt before
No. They already know that's happening, and that they just carry serious penalties. So me ain't even talking about that. Cause that's different.
But that's one of the things that people gonna do.
You're right. But what I'm saying is, for the people out there listening,
I've made somebody do it, eh?
That they're gonna get you tied up. Like that they're gonna get you tied up.
Somebody do it. I'm just saying there's
leave.
people that people will find ways and means around having to buy things here because buying things here don't make sense.
Yeah, people, that's what's gonna happen. Right? But it can't be a situation where the government tries to encourage local consumers to buy from local suppliers, but yet allow local suppliers to just constantly just change price to a ridiculous amount, while simultaneously making it difficult for us to import on our own. You have to allow us to give options and give us the options because it's getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, it's either y'all fix it or we going to just not buy. Simple.
There is an understanding that prices are going up across the board, right? That's an understanding. Shipping is going up. And that's part of the issue for me. Part of the issue for me is that when we start looking at how to address these problems, we try to find these magic bullets, right? We try to find this one thing that fixes it. It's ridiculous. Yes, prices are going up across the board. But one of the things that adds to our issue is shipping prices, right? Okay, so why are the shipping prices so high? You know the shipping prices are high? Because the boats come down full and go back empty. Okay, well, how we could change that? What is it that we can do? What can we work out with these shipping companies to export?
I feel like you're beating a dead horse here because I swear every month you say the same thing and nothing changing.
But, well, like, what are you going to do? You can't continue, Jade.
It shouldn't continue, but I just feel like they need to listen. Just if you know these things, I'm pretty sure they know that they can do these things. So figure it out instead of having this issue continue year after year.
But that is one of the issues too. One of the issues is that these issues continue year after year because it's going to take more than a year and a year and a year to fix.
That's cool, but you have to start. They have to start trying to fix it.
No, because the problem is that, again, a lot of the solutions that politicians come up with for anything are short term. Because they think they have a term to fix it. And that's the problem. We have issues that need 5-year, 10-year, 15-year solutions. Long-term planning. You know, so it's like, well, when we invest this $6 million now, right? To make us 40 million in 10 years. But who say you're going to be in there to take credit for it?
True.
I might not even have how we gonna explain that to the population, to the voting public in the next 3 years when we have election.
Well, somebody said shipping prices are going down. It's right. They'll send an article with container prices coming down, but prices still staying high. And then somebody else said, "I'm offended by the term smuggling. I prefer to call what I do finessing. Makes me feel fancy." Okay,
well, finesse all you like until you get caught.
Yeah.
No, but that's what people are gonna do.
Of course.
That's what people are gonna do. Like, let's not fool ourselves. Like, everybody know you're going on. But what's gonna happen is that you are going to force. Right now, I think a lot of people, they kind of figure out ways to kind of save $1 here or there, right? That's what people do.
You have to.
What I am talking about though is a structured response. So literally a black market economy. That's what they're gonna be fostering. They're gonna foster a black market economy. And let's not feel like it's only guns could smuggle in.
No, but if they could gain a gun, you think they can gain other things? Be for real. If they could literally smuggle in guns and bullets and drugs, you think they can gain a little nut for the car that's going to cost them $10,000 if it comes to customs? Like,
No, that's what's going to happen. Like, it's going to become formalized and become structured. And generally what happens, the black market actually functions more efficiently than the legal and government approved ways. And that's the problem that's going to happen. And when it happens, buys problems.
Well, I thought somebody sent me an article
about shipping prices going on.
Yeah, so it says ocean freight rates are down. So why are prices on shelves Why aren't prices on shelves dropping? Businesses are finally getting some relief with supply chain costs, but shoppers probably won't see any additional savings. This
prices only go one way now.
Up.
Retailers are quick to tell you about their rising costs, but when the costs don't come down, well, the price is stop there anyway. Like this, the price is only fluid in one direction.
Ridiculous. The cost of shipping freight containers across the Pacific Ocean has cooled from record heights hit during the pandemic when demand for goods manufactured in Asia outstripped supply. At its peak in mid-September 2021, the average rate to secure a container on a ship from Asia to the US West Coast reached $20,586, a 15-fold increase from early January 2020, according to the data from Freightos Baltic Index. By contrast, the average price for a freight container Friday was $2,720. But several factors, including big box stores grappling with overstocked inventory, preemptive holiday buying and rising gas and labor costs are holding retailers back from lowering prices on the shelves. Yeah.
You want me to get another joke? There's been hints of a raise in minimum wage. Well, wait till that one hit. I think price is gone anywhere yet. Wait till minimum wage increase now. The retailers, them just waiting an eye. They don't know where the price is be and they know how much the minimum wage increase into it. I'm telling you.
Somebody saying local carrots at $5 per pound, I'm guessing, while imported cost less.
Imports can always cost less because of scale. Because of scale.
So I said an increase in...
But I don't know. There's been hints that we could expect a minimum wage increase. I think that was actually one of the issues that was discussed during the most recent election season. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'm telling you, if there's an increase in minimum wage, the retailers them gonna jam you. I'm telling you, I know.
I got more money to spend. Let me just hike up these prices a little bit. Balance
Then they're gonna say, "Oh, labor costs going so high. Oh my God, labor costs is so high. We have to increase the prices. Sorry." Oh boy.
Oh well.
I don't know how we're gonna cope. And then when you check the statements, profits of 15, 16, 17, 18 million a year. Oh no, how are we ever gonna survive? Give me a break.
You're dramatic, you know.
Give me a break.
Well, speaking of breaks, thank you for that segue.
No, that's what we're here for. It's teamwork.
Well, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis moving to reduce the interest rate on student loans from DBSKN to 5%.
From what?
DBSKN, Development Bank, St. Kitts Nevis. Remember, that's what we're holding everybody hostage right now.
Alright, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
You got a loan over there now?
No, but luckily I was able to get free of the shackles.
Oh, luckily I may went to school.
Luckily I was able to get free of the shackles, Jade.
I just say you went.
Thank God for mums and paps, by my parents, right? If it wasn't for them, dear. I'll know it'll be fully grey, 2 lakhs on my head. Yeah, it would have been rough, Jade. Yeah, thank God, but a lot of people ain't got that kind of...
No, a lot of people
ain't got a privilege. People ain't got a privilege.
I used to want to go to college so bad, right? And then I think he had a point in my life where I just started listening to all my friends around me and I was like, oh, maybe this ain't the...
This ain't the road you want to take?
Maybe I shouldn't do the go away, get a loan, go to school thing because...
Depends on what you want to do, Jay.
Yeah.
If you want to be a doctor, then
you
probably...
You gotta go. But mainly blood, so I got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, depending on what you want to get into.
And I wanted to be a lawyer, but then I realized I have to read and remember a lot of things, and that wasn't working out either. So here I am, a graphic designer. Yeah,
5%. I could support that.
Yeah. Well, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, said that the education and the nation's youth is of critical importance if St. Kitts and Nevis is to remain competitive. We have to educate people. If our people are not given the opportunities to be educated, St. Kitts and Nevis cannot survive in this world, he said. Based on this philosophy of the Dr. Drew-led administration, the Prime Minister, while appearing on Freedom FM's Issues program on Wednesday, March 15th, disclosed the good news to students undertaking tertiary education and those who desire to pursue higher studies that the interest rate on student loans accessed through the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis will soon be reduced to 5% per annum. I am saying today that we will reduce student loans to 5%, and I want to announce that it will not only be on new loans, but it will also be on existing student loans.
It's a good move.
Yes. What does that mean? It means that if you have a student loan of 9%, when the new rate kicks in, you come in and you will go from 9% to 5%, meaning that your monthly payments will be significantly reduced, said Prime Minister Dr. Drew, who is also the Minister of Finance. The Prime Minister said this was discussed on Wednesday during a meeting he held with the Financial Secretary, Ms. Hilary Hazel, and the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Development Bank, St. Kitts and Nevis, Ms. Siobhan Douglas. Prime Minister Dr. Drew stated that the intention of this rate reduction is to ensure that graduates can live and plan for better lives upon the completion of their studies. The date when the reduction in interest rate on student loans will take effect is expected to be announced soon.
I think that's a good initiative.
Round of applause for our good old Prime Minister right there.
Yeah. The thing too, I like the idea, the focus on building up human resource. Education, of course, is a huge part of that. And so what I would hope to see happening as well is continued access to overseas scholarships. Because then that even reduces the amount that you have to take in any loan in the first place.
That is a fact.
So I keep saying one of the things I would like to see happening too is all of these countries that we have these relationships with, these diplomatic relations with, hoping to see more scholarship opportunities coming out of those. Just similar to, we have a lot of people that go to Taiwan.
Yeah.
A lot of people that go to Cuba.
Right?
There's
some other ones. I think they need to put more focus on the other ones too.
Yeah, so there's some like, I know for instance, we have some opportunities for people to go to Morocco. So that's one. The other thing, the other dynamic that I want to highlight is, yeah, we go. Sure, I need help.
Bye,
Let me play.
There we go, back in.
Vibes. The other issue that I want to highlight is also diversifying the scholarship offerings. So I know there had been some thing in that route. So of course, medicine has always been a big one. And I think also there has been in recent times offerings for people who want to do things, for instance, in agriculture, which I think is important as well.
Definitely is.
And but yeah, I think now if we identify different areas that we can build, that we need to build capacity in, off the top of my head, we'd be thinking things like engineering, information technology, a lot of things to do with technology. I think those are the areas that we could be real competitive as a nation. So if there's a focus on those types of scholarships, I think that would do us well too. So there'll be a combination.
I have to look to see what the scholarship offerings are currently like. I know you could go over to the I think it's Foreign Affairs. I think if you look on the Foreign Affairs page, you can find those. I think I saw something about scholarships on that page recently, but I know there's ways and means of finding them, and I just need to figure out what they have currently. Yeah, somebody can send it to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it does seem as though there's these pockets of information that exist. For instance, if you are thinking about going to study, perhaps that should be something you could get at the Ministry of Education. You know?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that just seems like a natural progression, even though a lot of it might not be spearheaded by the Ministry of Education. That should be a place where you're going to go to get information on education. Perhaps, but like you said, I know.
Think you can. I think you can do. You could get it from the Ministry of Education, and I think you get it from Foreign Affairs.
The other thing too is that sometimes some programs you have to access through certain ministries. Like I think it just needs like centralized, like some, even if the ministries have some interministerial connection where they can at least advise people, help people in the right direction. Even when I was looking to go to school, I was looking into scholarships. The only one that might have been available to me at the time might have been the OAS. And that's limited spaces. Yeah. They generally, at least at that time, it didn't seem like they were too interested in like the area that I was going to study. So, they're like law and them things.
Yeah, the old time.
Let me ask that question. How much more lawyers we need?
How much more politicians we need?
We need a lot more.
Okay.
Then. Maybe we need a lot more. Maybe we just need new ones.
Well, then that's why we're going to always have new lawyers. That answered your question, friend.
Oh, yeah. If you want to be a politician, the best career to go into is lawyer or doctor. That's what it seems like.
Let me see.
Traditionally.
Traditionally, it's either one out of the two of them.
Yeah.
You want to be a politician somewhere in your life, you're going to have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer.
You don't have to, but that's generally the best bet.
Yeah.
That's the best bet. That's the best bet.
That gets you closest.
The probability is higher. Yeah.
Well, speaking of politicians, so in St. Martin, we are hopping islands now.
Okay.
UP leader MP Bryson, remember when they used to call Water Bryson?
Yeah.
He was arrested for bribery and coalition without majority in interim. The Criminal Investigations Team of the Kingdom Detective Corporation Team, RST, on Friday arrested the United People's Party leader, member of the Parliament, Rolando Bryson, for bribery. Bryson's arrest leaves the governing National Alliance coalition, supported by MPs Akeem Aridel and Chanel Brombill, without a majority in Parliament in the interim, and if his detention extends into next week, it could affect the public debate on the draft 2023 budget, which was scheduled to start today. Bryson's absence leaves the coalition with 7 MPs, the same number as the combined opposition. It is understood that meetings are being held internally to determine a way forward.
So that's the man zoom in from prison?
Yeah. Technology exists.
He's still the same man he was last week when he
was just in a different setting.
Let him zoom in, man.
And we could blur the background. Zoom got an option. If you only really want.
Let him zoom in.
Pick a nice little background set up for him.
They make sure the budget sort out. And then I go figure out everything after that. It does seem as though you're seeing more of a trend of politicians being accused of criminal activity.
Yeah. I don't know what y'all. And the thing is, for me, right? I would think that as a politician, you of all people would know that it is very easy to catch you. Because you're in public office. No?
No, Jade.
You're not.
No, Jade.
It's not easy to catch.
No.
Well, I thought
because they're in control of the mechanisms that.
Yeah, but I thought people are also there to make sure that these mechanisms. No, wow. Wow. Why? I just have too much faith in the system now.
I'm trying to figure out where you even getting this idea from.
Because someone doesn't get catch. How would us know that they're doing these things? Let me ask you a question,
Jade. St. Martin, do you believe that there's a difference between some place like St. Martin, some place like, for instance, the BVI, right? That are overseas dependent territories, right?
So I mean...
As opposed to places where they're independent countries, prime ministers have ridiculous amounts of power, appoint everybody who they want to appoint. And what we see in independent countries, generally politicians get arrested after they're not in office.
That's what I mean. When you put it that way, I see what I mean. I forgot that they don't own themselves.
Like it's very as much as we're seeing more and more politicians, getting wrapped up in criminal activity. I still think it's pretty rare to have a sitting member of government in an independent nation, like in that kind of issue.
You're right. When you say it that way, I remember they really don't own themselves. Oh dear. So maybe that's what we need to do? Take back the power from the prime ministers and stuff?
No, I believe again, I keep saying I think we need to stop vesting so much faith and power in offices that's held by one person. I think we need to empower institutions. And the way we constitute these institutions should take into account the actual political climate at the time.
Not for nothing though. Most of us have the same problems, because when I went to St. Martin, right? To see Burna Boy Ghost.
He tried to bribe you too?
No.
Oh.
He could have, but no. No. I was actually when my cousin was taking me to to leave, she was telling me about some of the issues them that St. Martin have, and I was like, this is literally what we have going on here.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that
No, but it's people everywhere. So
No,
we're
that's
gonna
true.
have the same issues, right? And the problem is that power is the goal, right? So you don't find persons in power doing things to relinquish power, right? Power generally goes in one direction as well, just like prices. Once the government or an office gains some type of power, it's very unlikely that they give it back, right? It's very
it's true. That's why we see people in power for years, and all of this could be solved if we just have term limits,
Well, the term limits, I think, plays into it as well. But I believe the offices, like the office of the Prime Minister has so much power.
But
It's ridiculous. Like,
that's why I keep telling you, I'm glad we don't have like weapons of mass destruction and stuff, Because trust me, I'm pretty sure one of we prime ministers would have done nuke something by now.
yeah, I mean, it's insane. Like, compared to the office of the President of the United States, our prime ministers have more power.
Yep.
They maybe control less resources.
But that's the thing. If we had more resources, you could imagine how we would have been.
Yeah.
But speaking of politicians getting locked up, listen, good job, Azem. You're on the ball today. You are on the ball today, friend. Let me just go. My tablet would just be on the ball too. Yeah, the internet doing its own thing currently. Let's just. There we go. So, one of the world's favorite presidents will be or might be getting locked up tomorrow.
Tell it.
Trump expects to be arrested Tuesday as DA eyes charges. Donald Trump said in a social media post that he is expected to be arrested tomorrow as a New York prosecutor is eyeing charges in a case examining hush money paid to women who allegedly had sexual encounters with the former president. Trump provided no evidence that suggested that he was directly informed of a pending arrest and did not say how he knew of such plans. But in a Saturday morning message on his Truth Social Network.
Start you know about that, right?
Yes.
You ever went on it?
No.
I've gone in it.
How was that
It's
for you?
wild.
I could imagine.
Because the funny thing about it, it's called Truth, but everything I saw there,
Was a lie.
I had to question the truth.
That is why I'm like, truth. Yeah. Truth of all things, sir?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, yeah? Like, I think people really jump on the Republican, like, backs, like, oh my God, like, but once you get away from the extreme, right? Once you talk to the centrist, it's sometimes they be sensible, but it's so overpowered by, and I think it's the same thing on the left too in the United States.
Yeah.
The extreme left, just
some are really ridiculous.
I can't even like.
Everybody
lies. Everybody lies. It's ridiculous.
I just like some stories I just be reading and watching and listening to people talk, right? I'm like, this here, I sound like, I could hear. As y'all said these words, y'all could hear them? Because...
Yeah, they don't care. They lie
and
then they try to, they're caught in the lie, they try to convince you that it was for a good cause.
No, sir.
And that kind of craziness there. Right? Yeah, but
yeah,
but even this, right, kind of plays into what I was saying. I was actually going to use this as an example. But, the sitting president who had multiple accusations of sexual misconduct.
Multiple.
Right?
The man literally used to be on recordings as
No, he used to admit it. Like he admitted to several instances of sexual misconduct. Like, we know what that is when you go and you grab up somebody in a sexual manner without their consent. Like, we know, like, yeah, that's sexual assault, sir. Like, you realize you just admitted to sexual assault?
On tape, like, we could hear you. Wild.
Yeah, so, and guess what? Yeah, finish out your term.
Yeah, man.
And incite a riot afterwards.
Watch it, right? Man, if people understand what happened on January, what was 5th? January 6th.
No, people, I don't understand how they were able to just like pretend like this was just like a peaceful protest.
The man.
People get shot in the chest and so.
People died. Yo, watch it, right? Not for nothing, right? This was so damn idiotic, right? Why? It's one thing to have protests, right? Is another thing to protest dumbly. Like,
when I just say so, people just get at me case.
No, but you're correct. How is it, right? Like, there's several moments that people should have just stop and say, you know what? We look stupid.
Perhaps this is the best course of action right now.
The man them climbing the wall next to the steps, them and say, you know? Why you climb? It's next. Why?
The whole thing was just...
And everybody home just like, what is happening for real, right?
Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was saying. Up to last week, I was talking to one of the Kingsters and they were telling me about. I remember just being home and just watching this like. But you say you were watching like seven different news channels, just going from angle to angle.
Because you can.
Like angle.
I think it's the stupidity overshadow the importance of what happened. It's the stupidity.
Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, because it's just.
Yeah, it did seem a bit ignorant.
A bit. Mm-hmm. As the woman climbed through a box after the man tell her don't do it or he gonna shoot her, you know. And dead and then people vex. The man tell her he gonna kill her. But I wasn't listening. The man literally said, do not come in here. We let y'all reach far enough. Anything past this year gone dead. And you know what happened? She died.
Yeah, she died. Yeah, she died, yeah.
Y'all in the White House.
In the Senate, yeah.
Y'all have literal highest holding members of office. India can't leave because y'all literally threatened to kill them. And everybody just want like, bad at the well. You could imagine if, let's put this into perspective. As I'm telling you, right? If anybody darker than the color of crackers, they try that, things would all look different.
Very different, Jane.
Bodies.
Very different. All now we might have been still trying to figure out what kind of memorial to give them.
Which memorial?
Oh no, we. When I say we,
we.
Mm-hmm. No, them who do the memorializing, they wasn't gonna kill. Criminals, all of them. They would have charged them all when they did.
But they don't call them terrorists.
No.
Terrorists as them.
They would have charged them with war crimes, treason, all when they done dead, Jade. The children them and all would have get charged.
Everybody getting locked up.
It was if they were grown and had beards.
With things that look like yours on your head. But they might have blocked the building. I ain't gonna let you. They might have blocked the whole White House. It was the White House, right? No. Was the Senate? They had blocked the Senate. Yeah, they don't like that on fire, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy what's going on here. I mean, I'm a bit wary on the Trump reporting. I had gotten weary even since his term. Once he got into office, and I'm not blaming Trump for this. I'm not blaming the political parties. I'm blaming the media for this. There was this crazy obsession with Trump.
Well, duh, because he entertaining and entertainment and nonsense sells.
Right. So, but what end up happening is that you end up focusing so much on him and then painting the picture in a particular way based on your political leanings. That one, you miss out on anything else important going on, but then even with trying to understand what's going on with Trump, you're still getting this skewed impression of reality. And it's like...
By Trump literally started a cult, you know. The man started a whole cult, and it was okay.
I don't even know if Trump started the cult. I think Trump might have been.
But he was the leader of the cult. He might not have started.
And I don't even think so. I think Trump. No,
What do you mean?
no. I'm saying I think Trump was able to exist because of the cult-like segments of the Republican Party. I think he was able to take advantage of what existed.
Yeah, well, that's why I say he became the leader because, I mean, there always was Republicans, there was always radicals and all of these things. But when Trump started, I think you felt the shift. You felt the shift of how these paper-looking people behaved.
Right.
You could have feel it every single day, Azem, every day.
The Republican Party does have a bit of a history of people hijacking the party. Like I've
Man, come,
Yeah,
the people come hijack our party, right?
yeah, just go against convention, and then hijack the party. But again, I think.
And that was okay with it because they were garnering more support. The problem is when with these kind of people, right? If you think they're a little unhinged in the beginning, what do you think gonna happen when they get full power? Like y'all was loving him, he was rallying the whites and the people who thought like y'all, and yes, it was go Trump. But when Trump started to make people act a little bit crazy and then y'all started to feel the blowback, it's oh no, we're not so aligned with Mr. Trump. No, y'all are. Y'all are.
The way I look at it though is like I think Trump was a cog in the machine. I don't know if
spokes in the wheel?
I don't know if he was the machine. And the reason I say that is I think even now, even if Trump is to totally disappear from from political life and thing, I think a lot of those sentiments, those energies, I think they still exist. And I think they existed before him and they'll exist after him. He was just the one who was able to, because of the time, because of the climate at the particular moment in the country, he was able to take advantage. I don't even know if I see him as the, because I don't think Trump cared if he was either Republican or Democrat, you know.
The man, listen, what you say again? Oh, there was this one. He had so many.
I was about to say, he could stand up in the middle of Madison Square Garden and shoot somebody in the face and nothing happen. What about that one?
That's what I was trying to remember.
That's the one you want to remember? Okay.
Trump was like a dumb version of Dougie. Because he had many quotes.
Oh, many quotes. A quote. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No. Not politician-wise. Quote-wise.
Okay.
Because the man had quotes as him.
Yeah.
The man just used to say anything, you know?
I hug the bee.
What would be the Trump equivalent to that?
Trump did call some people some other names other than hug, so.
Bye. That was, I still can't, I just believe that was a fever dream. Maybe that happened for you.
No, but I think people have not really begun to recognize that we're going into a very interesting time. Even this idea of Trump perhaps being arrested, I believe that's weaponizing of the law. I think there might be a concern by some people that he may actually run again in 2024, and this might be in some way a way to undermine that potential.
Because this is what the man the last time we was in there, that's why we can't let it happen again. Bye.
So I don't even think it's that. I just thinking is like if you run, we might lose. Simple that. I don't think they care about what he was in there.
I mean the Republicans?
No, like I think there might be Democratic. You have to understand, right, Jade? People seem to forget that we now know because of the leaks and the papers and the emails that come out and so that the Democrats were also initially some of the people who were funding Trump campaign, the Democrats, because they thought it was like, oh yeah, if this fella come to the top, we did an easy win for us. So me really too like sad for them, yeah.
Bye. I thought that was gonna be an easy one for you, bye. That was Trump ain't gonna win, so let's push him. He's the easiest person to beat.
The Democrats.
No, wash out time,
the Democrats for elections.
Oh my God.
The Democrats for elections upon elections have been now known to be supporting several Republican candidates.
Just because they feel they could beat them. And Trump put a whole spokes in our wheel by. And I see that one coming.
The DNC. I mean, talking about Democrat people who identify as Democrat. I talking about the party itself. Yeah.
But I know them, I was in the meeting like, the man really winning, no?
Backfire by. They said backfire by. Who idea that was again? Who idea that?
Back here out of here, yeah. I don't be back here. But I was insane, man.
Crazy.
That was insane, man.
But you know, the world is in an interesting place right now.
Yeah.
I think the next 20 years, if you make it that long.
I don't know, kill us.
I think the next 20 years is going to be interesting because the pendulum will have to swing back, Jade.
Yeah, no, he has to.
The pendulum will have to swing back.
Something got to give, man, Lord.
Yeah, all of this, this ignorance of facts, this delusional.
But hey, people just ignore facts with you, you know?
Big facts, Jade.
People just literally see facts and be like, nah. How we reach to this point? How we reach to the point where we're ignoring stats?
I could tell you, there's a reason.
Why?
The reason why we've begun to just ignore facts and to undermine facts is because we have, as a society, decided, at least some subsets of society have decided that feelings should be the most important.
Or feelings over facts.
Feelings over facts.
Love it.
And so what happens is that anything that goes against what your desire is, or what you want to be true, or what you feel to be true, you ignore it, right? Or you fight against it, or you dismiss it. And unfortunately, because when you involve feelings in discussions, they become personal. What ends up happening is you now attributes a person's beliefs, a person's positions to them, and so you're able to dismiss the person, you're able to dismiss the facts, you're able to dismiss their position, their feelings, you dismiss everything about them because you can't. And I keep saying this when it comes to people having discussions. You can't even have discussions with people because you only kind of have a real discussion over anything if you start from some common place. For instance, that is why in debates, the first thing you do when you debate is you outline the definition of keywords of your point, so that we can establish a baseline from which we're talking. Because if I'm talking about tomatoes, right, and you're talking about oranges, then we can't have a proper discussion.
That does happen all the time.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
so people end up talking at one another and dismissing what people say because we can't even decide on simple facts. Or we can have a discussion. Impossible. You can't go nowhere. You can't go anywhere. And I mean about it, like, you ever argue with somebody and then halfway through you realize you're arguing about the same thing?
Yeah, all the time. At least already got to stop and be like, we're talking about two different things, right? All the time.
People get upset with me when in the middle of the conversation I say, okay, we gotta stop talking now.
Yeah, because why am I arguing I arguing about one thing, you're arguing about another thing. Why are we continuing?
If we can't agree on certain facts, then the conversation doesn't make sense.
It can just be me saying something, you saying something. I saying something, and there will be no fruitful discussion that comes out of this.
I hate when you're having discussions with people and you bring up facts and their response is, well, I feel like.
They say, I'm not really feeling.
I said, but you could feel anything you want,
but
that don't change. But that don't change the facts. If it's a matter that I state a fact and you need something to corroborate the fact, I can understand that. But to just totally ignore it because you don't want it to be true?
Or because you don't feel like it's true based on nothing but how you feel? So I don't talk to people,
It gets difficult. It gets difficult to have really meaningful conversations.
It don't make sense as in sometimes people just arguing with you for arguing, come to a common ground, no nothing. They just want to argue with you for arguing with your sake. And that is tiring and I don't have the energy for that.
I think that's one. I think people also argue from a place of desire. Like I said, what they want. So what they do is, oh boy, triggering me now, Jade, you know, cause
me triggering you?
Yeah, because these conversations here just get so exhausting. The conversations where you, yes, you Jade. Yeah, the conversations where you can tell that the person is so concerned about just winning that they just refuse to just even acknowledge anything that you're saying, that slightly might cause them to have to cave a little bit. Like it gets so exhausting.
It
like,
is.
And I just get so frustrated.
Not me. My whole strategy this year is not to argue with people for long. Like if I started to realize that you ain't even trying to understand or come to an understanding, me just stop. Because why waste my breath for?
I've been in situations where I've said that. I'd be like, look, this ain't making no sense. Perhaps you should just stop.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what?
The problem with that
No
is
problem.
then you get accused. You get accused of constantly walking away from conversations. Oh, you don't want to talk. Oh, you want.
Oh, did you see how we're shutting down with? Yes, because you're triggering me and me want to go jail. So let's just.
People don't understand that. People don't understand. You have to come to some. There's a few things you have. You know what it is, Jade? You know what it is? And we talk about this all the time. How we come out of school and we don't have certain skills. People don't know how to communicate.
Nope.
And when I say people don't know how to communicate, I'm not talking about just tips and tricks as to how to communicate effectively. I'm talking about, if you ask somebody right now, what are the rules of conversation? People don't know what the rules of conversation are. Like, what are the things that are necessary in order for you and somebody to have a conversation? So you're walking around having all these conversations, you don't even know what's supposed to be happening when you're discussing with somebody. Like, we don't learn these things, right? So,
Never
and then it becomes
on that yet.
No, like there's rules to proper communication. For instance, just like I said, like people having some common ground from which the conversation can stem from, can go out of, right? I mean, as simple as you see it, that it like proper communication is both. For instance, you must, just like people would say, you talk and you listen, right? So it's two-way, right? It's bi-directional, right? Some people just ignore that. Some people just literally just ignore that, yeah.
Darrione, you ever had a conversation where you just need to go sleep?
Yeah, all the time, Jade.
I'm enjoying you so much, you just go to the back.
All the time. Sometimes I fall asleep in the conversation.
Let's start to nod off because at this point, my battery and I can't go no more.
Sometimes I just fall asleep. I just go sleep. I just go sleep.
And then I go say, you see, I know you don't even be listening to me.
You don't even pay attention.
I can't. You're draining me.
Like, you don't understand, miss. You didn't put me to sleep because you're boring, yeah? You put me to sleep because you suck all the life force out of me, yeah? You suck out my life force, girl. Mr. Man.
Your battery just dead.
You just zug out my battery.
Not me, though.
Bye.
I'm trying to practice not having those conversations this year. Like, I like talking to people. I just don't like talking to...
This is a good topic.
Yeah.
Because I want to... Let me see.
What?
No, I have to keep talking.
Oh, no, I like talking to people, but I just can't take the draining... I can't take the draining effect of you just not trying. It's because people... Again, people just always want to win. Like, it's always, I got you. You see, I know. No. But that's not... Oh. You ever had a conversation that you're so confused that you didn't remember what you're arguing about?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No, I know. It's more like I can tell that you are no longer discussing what we were discussing. Because for you, it's about
when they move in the goalpost.
Yeah, continue moving the goalpost. Okay, so just the 7 rules of effective communication: respect experience and seniority. Don't interrupt the speaker. Think before you answer.
That the other word off half a second, people.
Well, here you spoke about this one just now, Jade. Focus on the subject.
Cause how we were here and you're over there.
Organize your speech, right? That means, like, for instance, yes, we might be talking about why is it that you continually leave the dirty dishes in the sink. I don't understand why you want to start out by telling me why my mother like me. You understand? Like, organize the speech, please.
Yeah, because my mother got to do this,
but that has happened a lot.
But yeah, I've experienced these things firsthand.
Jade, firsthand. It was when I see it secondhand, Jade. My mother, when it was by. Not this week.
It can't be this week. Today's Monday.
2 weeks ago or so. One of the times I went to Nevis. I didn't mind my own business, yeah? I'm minding my own business. Ain't troubling nobody, Jade. 2 people start to have a discussion. Yeah, right? I wasn't following the conversation too closely.
But there was a point where you had
There was a point where the gentleman made a point, right? I remember what he said, but that's not even necessary. The gentleman made a point that I at least agreed with. For the little nutshell I was listening.
Yeah.
The young lady he was speaking to, response to the guy was, and that's why you're going bald.
Oh, if you had gone by. God, I help for these things, you know?
The conversation had nothing to do with here, you know? The conversation had nothing to do with here.
That means you were losing. That's why you're losing. When you're losing, you don't start to chow. Like, you know, when you're fighting, right? When you're fighting and you start to lose, you just start to swing wild. That's what happened.
Hail Mary is by. The woman responds to the man is, and that's where you're going, ball.
Sis.
I look for just to see the look at the man's face. The man is
you were going ball, Joe?
Yes, yes. There was a bit of thinning. There was a bit of thinning in the crown. There's a bit of thinning, Jade.
No. She wrong. She wrong. She wrong. She wrong. She wrong. She had to tell you about that.
Oh, well, look at this.
What?
One of the rules is don't argue the facts.
Huh?
Don't argue the facts. I'll explain.
Please, because
you should have your personal opinion about all the important issues being discussed. This is the contribution that the other participants expect you will bring to the meeting. You should know how to explain and justify your opinions, but you should also know how to stop debating when you are presented with new facts that clearly contradict your view.
yeah, like if I pull up my phone, right, and I show you a fact, don't come tell me the fact wrong because you feel like it is. Why we like this?
Jade, this is what, well, I don't got to deal with this a lot, Jade.
You're telling me that
Because, again,
ain't even me saying it.
because there's a priority of feelings over facts.
Yeah, but that's not how it works.
No, you can't tell people that. Well, that ain't, that's, I tell you already, you know, one of the worst, you know, when
Sorry, that you want your spirit.
That's what the woman tell the man in the middle of the conversation.
Yo, I'm glad I was in the car. The laugh hard, you know, as
Jade, I was so concerned for the man. I thought the man was next to the beach. I thought the man was walking the sea. I thought the man was going to walk in the sea.
Wow, well, she wasn't arguing. You see, she wasn't going against the facts.
Watch here. And when the woman drop it, the woman just wait for your response here. The woman ain't even like continue nothing and she just wait for it. The man just watch it. Like, so the two of them just watching one another.
Like the meme. The meme with Diddy and the dude. Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
The man make a good point, you hear me? Okay, that makes sense.
She said, yeah, you're coming with facts. Well, let me hit you with some facts. You want me funny? Let me make this thing real hilarious.
Yeah, but it gets.
Oh my God.
It gets really difficult to show you. Oh, I had one more rule.
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
This one was accept that you don't know everything.
That should have been the first rule. That should have been number one. Because I don't know how y'all feel I use Google.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for people to say I don't? How many times did I say I don't know?
I keep saying that is one of the main pitfalls of our nature.
Yes, just say I don't know.
Acknowledging that you don't know.
Because when you're going to make up something now,
Acknowledging that you don't know.
I could easily verify.
I have conversations with people and I'll be like, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Exactly. And the thing is, in the age of social media, phones and technology, it is very easy to verify facts and stats.
Let me explain something to you, Jade. I say all the time here that I like having conversations. I like having conversations
Well,
with
clearly,
people,
that's
right?
why we're here.
Right. One of the things, though, is that what I recognized is that in conversations, like I just read, you're expected to bring your views and your opinions to the discussion. That is why we have a discussion. If it was just a matter of facts, then we wouldn't need to have discussions, right?
No.
However, what people don't recognize is that if you're going to be very opinionated, then you also have to be very informed.
That would be good.
I don't understand this thing. It became quite popular a few years ago, where everybody would just say things like, but that's my opinion. What I mean?
What I got to do with what we're talking about?
But not only that, because you have an opinion does not make it valid.
Yeah, what?
Like,
no, that's well for sure.
Like
because you have an opinion that made it fact. Sir, ma'am, dog, okay,
well, that's my opinion.
That's not.
But that's how I feel.
Okay, but I don't make it.
But what I got to do with the price of rice?
So because you feel that way it's true, it's right, it's correct. How you?
And no, but what I think is being suggested when people say that is that you're expected to give them some sort of credibility and value, and it's like, no, that's not how it works. Your opinion carries weight based on certain things. How do you support your opinion, right? Not only that, what is your level of expertise in the soccer, in the topic?
I just feel so.
As a matter of fact, even with facts, right? The opinions of a person,
excuse me,
carries less weight based on who you are and the space.
Sorry.
Well, if they didn't, no, they're probably going to be winded. So anyway, but let's put it this way, Jade. I can believe that the greenhouse gases that we are producing as a species is depleting the ozone layer and causing a rise in temperature, right? And so the average temperature of the world is heating up.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if even armed with that information, that opinion, if I were to go to the UN and start talking and saying these things, how much weight they're going to give to my words.
They're going to cut your mic.
Right. Cut the first thing as well. Who this man be?
Who he be?
Who he be?
What he feel like?
Who he be?
Yeah, no, they're going to cut your mic. As a matter of fact, they're letting you in the door. Azem.
Right? Because expertise does play a part in
I mean, it should.
Yeah. The other thing too, like I keep telling people, like you risk offending people when you have conversations, right? One of the issues that we have as well is that we no longer want anybody, because since feelings are the top thing.
Yeah, since feelings trump everything.
Since feelings trump everything, then anything that makes you feel bad, of course, is bad. No, then we won't have surgery and so. Like everything that make you feel bad isn't bad. Like isn't inherently bad. Like because somebody says something to you that make you feel bad, don't mean it was wrong.
No. But everybody has feelings. Like I think we need to stop putting our feelings over everything. Your feelings important, yes, but they're not more important than facts. They're not more important than actual logic.
Yeah, you hear me all the time when I say things like this that annoy me, like, because we do these things all the time when we want to make people feel good, so we say things that are obviously not factual, and then...
Who is we?
No, I won't say the example that happened, but remember we were driving in the vehicle, and we had a discussion, and you were like, we were talking about beauty. Remember we were talking about beauty?
Oh!
And I was just there like, no, Jade, no.
Lord, man.
No. See, no, it's Lord, man. No. Facts is facts.
You know, that happened last night too with the same, not the same person, but with the video. And that was the same argument, eh? That was literally the same argument that some of the people in the chat were making.
Give me a break. Like, come on. Come on. Like, no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, right.
We have to be willing, the problem is that we put so much weight on certain things, right? That the feelings attached to that is like, oh my God, like you can't make nobody feel bad over these things because it's so important. You can't say that. Maybe I can't say. So maybe I can't say the truth. What are you telling me?
Not good, man.
No, but you mean I can't say like the truth? This isn't just a matter of fact, or this isn't a matter of opinion. Sorry, matter of facts. Like, so what are you telling me? You have to risk. Anytime we have conversations with people in any real way, there's a risk of offense.
Of course.
And that should not be the goal.
No, but it happens.
But there's an understanding that this is part of what happens in communication. Sometimes something is said that you don't like.
Yeah, it makes you feel a certain way or whatever the case. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't say it because you won't feel offended.
You know what it is too? I think we have begun to merge the concepts of offense and oppression.
Oh dear.
Right? So people act as if you're oppressing them because you said something offensive. Like, no, that ain't how it works. That's not how it works. Like, and we're doing this a lot, because you got a lot of people who, what happened is they having all these so-called smart people now that ain't smart and they don't know the actual meanings of words.
Words don't mean nothing no more, you know?
Oh my gosh.
As in words don't have meanings no more, okay? We're just using words.
You know
because we feel like they're supposed to fit in a sentence.
You know the other one that somebody the other day?
What?
That there's a difference between an apology and accountability.
Yeah, I could just say sorry. I literally, sorry, just...
People don't understand that.
I could literally just come, I know I do something. Let me just say sorry. So
we literally have, better, yeah? Oh my God, we literally having a conversation, right, about this person's lack of accountability, and they're telling me, when me mean accountable, like I done say sorry long time.
So what? I could say sorry, I lie all the time. What you mean?
But even if you say sorry, that doesn't mean you've been held accountable.
No.
Accountability has to do with the consequences for your actions.
I tell her words don't mean things no more as
I just be like, yo.
People that just be using words all the time, using words and phrases, don't care what they're supposed to mean.
So bringing it back home then. So how can we have effective communications if we can't even decide on what the words that we use to communicate, what they mean?
Who can decide? We don't know what they mean, you know? It's all I want to change them.
That's what I'm telling you. So when you're talking to one of them people, then how you going to communicate? Like
I just stop.
This happens all the time.
Not me, you know?
So it's like the most frustrating conversations that I have are the conversations where you can't discuss the actual thing you're discussing because you're busy redefining and trying to come to grips about something else.
Y'all are not whips.
Okay, but that ain't what I mean. Well, me really mean that. You know what I mean?
No, man, know what? That's not what I mean.
But I know what, that's not what you said.
I know what you mean. You ain't even know what you mean.
It gets so frustrating, Jade.
Not me. I frustrate myself for what I want, but not I.
It gets frustrating because sometimes you care about the people you're having these conversations with, so you don't want to constantly dismiss them, right? You don't want to constantly just give them a feeling like you're not really concerned about what it is that they're saying. However, you make it so difficult just to talk to you. I care about you, and so I care about what you have to say, but you make it what you have to say.
One thing I've learned along the years of being on Earth, right? It's how to listen without listening, you know? give you just enough for you to think they're listening to you, but actually in my head I think about something completely different. Because if you steady listen to some of these people, right, Azem?
No, but I'm talking about people that you care about now.
Yeah, I care about them too.
But
You think they exempt because they care about you? Azem, you can care about people that you're not a real idiotic, you know? Yeah. And you know, every time you have a conversation with them, you're drained, you're tired, you just need a nap after. Azem, we can't sleep all day.
Yeah, that's true.
So you just got to literally watch them dead in their face, but don't listen. That's all you got to do. Make eye contact, say some keywords like, yeah, it's true. No, you're right. But you're here not necessarily. Because if not, you're going to lose your sanity trying to listen to these people every day. Not me, no? Oh, before we go, somebody wants me to find out where they could get black pudding. I just remember. So it's nothing to do with conversation. Yeah, so if y'all know where people could get good black pudding, just put it in the comments.
I won't even comment to you.
You can't. You don't need black pudding. You don't need corruption. Is that real Rasta man, you know?
Jade, bye. Black. Even when I was a meat eater, Jade.
You drew the line at.
Black pudding was just one of them things.
That are you business.
Yeah.
Me gonna eat them. What is your
I think part of the thing for me is like, you know, people eat black pudding and then but they don't know what black pudding is, and then you tell them and they get grossed out and they keep eating it.
Things what? Where you said that they get grossed out
and then keep eating it?
Yeah, well, what?
Yeah, that's the part.
About liver.
But why would liver gross you out?
Because it tastes nasty.
but that's what I'm saying. Let me talk about that. I'm talking about like people who didn't know what blood pudding was, and then like
they find out. Was it discussed for like 2.5 seconds?
Yeah, and then was like, well. Yeah, but
yeah, kill you. A little blood, a little pig intestines with blood and waste.
Throw enough salt in anything, people eat it, man.
What?
That's one thing. Throw enough salt in anything, people eat it.
Make anything taste good and they eat it.
Throw enough salt.
Salt is the
Throw enough salt in anything, people will eat it, Jade. I'm telling you. Anything. It don't matter.
Somebody say I just do it straight. Where does do salt in anything to make people eat it? What do you mean? Where does do straight? Oh, maybe you two know people, you know.
Maybe draw lines, I don't know.
But no, this year could go for anything at this point.
I'm telling you.
Oh, Green Valley Festival coming up, man.
Yeah, there's stuff actually going on happening. We're going into what it is Easter? What coming up?
Yeah, no, man, I do a flyer for them this weekend.
For Green Valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell where, but I can tell half you.
Okay, cool. But yeah, guys, this was an interesting one today.
Bye.
Some very interesting topics. But I keep telling them spend more time living the content and posting it, but they don't listen to me.
Yet we here having to see our in our lingerie in people bed.
I don't need. I can't say nothing.
I love how I just unhinged unapologetically by.
I can't say nothing by. And the thing is, people. Let me ask you a question. Do you think this is the question of the day now? And I want to see what the do you believe that the alleged gentleman, right? Do you think he has a right to be upset at the lady for her actions?
Yes, but he also has to take some accountability for what this lady did, because if you are allowing unhinged people into your life and into your house that you share with your spouse.
No, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a part to play in the outcome of this entire thing, right? But at some point...
No, we got to take accountability for we unhingedness now.
But my thing is, at some point, people, like when people do things that one could just not even fathom and expect, is like, come on, like, I should have a right to be upset with you about doing something that just ain't make no sense.
No, that's true.
Like,
and you're putting my life in danger. You put him in, because you know how disrespectful it is for you as a man to have another woman in your spouse and your bed, and then she doing a whole house tour, calling your woman all kind of, and then laying down in your bed, putting on your hat and so in your, bruh. Bruh. How you even explain that? How do you as a man? As him try, put yourself in his shoes and try.
Nope.
Okay.
Them shoes they can't fit me, Jade. Them shoes way too big. Them shoes they can drown my little.
I don't want to explain it as
them
him.
shoes can drown my little size 11 foot.
Because we can say it wasn't you.
I try to talk to you, girl. I try to talk to you, I know she ain't good, but I try to. You know.
But she in lingerie. You ain't in the house, but she in the house.
But that's the
But
only...
he bad, so she breaking you.
But I was about to say...
Bye, watch your lie. Just say she breaking.
I was about to say, I believe that would be the play. The play would be...
Lie, sir. Just lie and say, listen, babes, I went down in the shop here.
It's only 2 days. It's only 2 ways you could play that there, Jade.
But I just gotta lie.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
You either lie or you take accountability. That's the 2 things, right?
And may feel like the second one ain't gonna happen.
No, you gotta know how to do it.
Okay, so how would you do it?
Not me.
Give this gentleman some advice.
You were listening to some dance hall while you were in your well. Some dance hall was playing in the house while like, accompanying the ladies tour.
She had some tour music.
Man, she had some tour music. I don't know why Facebook and so in banda.
May I find it on Facebook?
I know.
So that could be weird.
But if you're listening to, and this is why I love this particular gentleman, because he tells you exactly who he is. He says he's the teacher. The teacher once taught us that in cases where you have to explain difficult situations to your significant other, sometimes you have to just really take accountability.
Which sound is
and be totally understood. No, Jade, what this man need to tell his significant other is, them I love have the ganja youth, what expect me to do? Love them. Tend to touch them.
Wrap up the show. There we go. Kaya. You gotta stick out the joint now.
No, them I love have the, what you expect me to do? Love them. Tender touch.
I have no words.
Come
like
on,
a literally speechless.
And you know why you know that works? Because when I in the dance and that song they come on, is the woman singing louder than anybody else.
That's true.
Is the woman them singing louder than anybody else. So I said, the teacher has taught me.
The teacher has taught me.
The teacher has taught me.
Vibes Cartel, I did not forsake you.
The teacher. Adi. But guys, on that note, we're gonna wrap up today's show.
Yeah, because that's even gonna get somebody out there killed.
Not me.
Murdered.
I have been the one who's been telling people to watch it, Jade. I warned them weeks ago, you know.
You did.
Weeks ago.
You did. You foresaw this. Like the oracle that you are.
Jade, you realize? You know the other thing to that I said about a couple of weeks. Remember, I came in here one day and said, I'm going to have to come back in here and talk about what's going on in the US with these interest rates. Remember I said that? Fast forward a week later.
Bank crash. Listen, what's going on in my life? Let's talk about it off the air because
Well,
you clearly
off the air because Jade, the things actually, remember I tell you supposed to come by here, so we got some things to talk about.
You're supposed to see it in my future? Hey, this is why he's my body for life. Fine, focus.
I got it. I got it, man. I got it. But guys,
don't touch them. Yo, they must say, do what Cartel say.
What you expect me to do?
Do what Cartel say. Watch your partner just lazy.
Them I love have the...
Don't take Azem advice. Liar.
Are the teacher say something at me? I did the teacher.
Say she break in your place. You want to buy bread down the shop. You come back, meet her your place.
Me tell me place. I never see she in my life.
It's only the video I see.
You say, who that there be? Me know she.
But me know she?
But me know she who she be.
But no, he can like, I'm pretty sure that human don't know about her already.
No, yeah, because that your friend, not mine. That your friend, not mine. You and she got whatever going on between. You the girl say, Karma. Say, whatever going on between the two of you, I don't know. Don't bring me into our business, yeah? Don't bring me into our business.
Gaslight her. Option 3. Gaslight the hell out of her. Just like what Azem just know.
Are you using these terms here now? Yeah? I don't know where these terms come from all of a sudden. They don't know where these terms come from here. Oh. But guys, we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark. And please, guys, it's a new week, so hoping for you guys. You guys have a
Don't bother with it.
productive week.
Oh yeah, you could tell them the productive week, Pat.
Yeah, I want them to have a productive week.
Okay.
Yes, Jade, I still want them to try. See, Jade, this is the thing, it's just like when the preacher preaching, right? Everybody in the congregation ain't gonna catch it, but if there's one soul that is saved, it was worth it, right? So spend more time living your content and posting it, please, for that one soul out there that needs to hear this.
Listen. You're right. That friend. Preach.
Yeah,
Preach.
Spend more time living your content than posting it. Right? And please, guys, remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you ain't whoever the fellow was. See you guys tomorrow.